Hi guys, welcome to the Wilson Homestead. I'm Sheena. This is my first ever YouTube video, and I just want to first of all say thank you for joining me. I just want to explain a little bit about what this channel is going to be about. I'm really interested in all kinds of gardening. I like to grow my own food. I like to grow flowers. I do perennial flowers, annual flowers, anything I can get my hands on. I love it. Also, you're probably going to be seeing some canning, some cooking, some baking, you know, things like that. And I'll probably introduce you to my family. And I have a lot of animals that you're going to love to meet, I know. And I have chickens, I have dogs. My daughter has horses. She's really excited for you to meet her horses. So that's probably going to happen soon. But for today, we're going to start some seeds. I'm in a zone 6, so right now I can start some seeds, but not a lot of seeds. Like if I would start tomato seeds right now, they'd be huge trees by the time I got them outside. So we're going to start out with onions and columbines. Alright, so the onion seeds I have are Walla Walla onions. These I purchased at Lowe's, I think. They're a sweet onion. They don't store well, so once they get of size, you know, you pretty much have to use them up quickly or they're gonna sprout. And also I have Grain X hybrid onions, which are a sweet mild onion, and my personal favorite, which you can tell because I have 2 packs of them, Zabroon shallots. Now, the first time that I ever heard of these, I was actually watching a YouTube video. I was watching Allotment Diaries, shout out, and he grew these, and I was amazed. Like, they just look awesome. And he said that they really store well, and I can tell you from growing them in the past 2 years, they store really well. And like actually right now it's the beginning of February and I still have shallots that are usable. Like all of my sweet onions and my storing onions have all sprouted, but these shallots are still really good. So that's why I'm growing 2 packs this year. And also, later in the episode, I'm going to be sowing these columbine seeds. These are Barlow's Doubles Mix. This is a perennial flower. They grow better in kind of a, like, if you have some afternoon shade, like dappled shade, they do better in that. Actually, mine are in full afternoon sun and they do okay right now, so, but like I said, I'm zone 6, so if you're in a southern state, you're going to have to grow these in partial shade. But anyway, I'm excited about these. From what I've read, I mean, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but they said that if you start them early enough, that they will bloom the first year. That would be great if they do, but if they don't, hey, I can wait another year. I don't care. So the first thing I'm going to start off with today is the shallot, the Zabroon shallots. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to elaborate on the shallots is that these aren't conventional shallots. Most shallots, you buy a set and you plant the sets out and then they multiply. Like each set multiplies into several shallots. A Zabroon shallot or a banana shallot, it kind of grows mostly like an onion. You plant 1 seed, you get 1 shallot. They're large shallots and they're really good. So let me pull you in closer here so I can show you the process of planting them. Alright guys, I hope you can see this. Alright, so what I have here is one of the aluminum roasting pans. This one looks a little rough because I've used it for 3 years, but I'm all about cheap things that I can recycle. So I've got some organic potting mix in here, and I'm just gonna dump a little water in and get it moistened. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this around. I just find it easier, like most people would just plant their seeds and then water them in, but I think if you pre-moisten the potting mix, it's just easier to work with. Like, you don't have it floating up and your seeds are all moving around. Okay. And that looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to make some rows here. A little clump there. Let me break that up. Alright. Let me go get my hands cleaned up and then I will open the seeds. Alright, I'm going to start off with the shallot seeds. This is what they look like. Just little black seeds. And like I said, I have 2 packs of them, so I'm going to try to disperse them evenly. Alright, pack number 2. Alright, so I got all the seeds, hopefully evenly spread out here, and I'm just going to go through and just kind of cover them over. And tap them down a little bit. And remember, I already pre-moistened the soil, so I don't have to go back through and water it right now. Okay. Now, what I usually do is I'm going to put a piece of plastic wrap over this tray, and then I'm going to set it under the lights that you see behind me. Alright, so here's the plastic wrap. And the reason that I do this is just to keep the moisture in. So so that way I don't have to water it like every single day. Because like my setup here in the basement, I'm right by the furnace, so I've got to do this. Maybe. Oh, the woes of cling wrap. Okay. Okay, so there we have it. Covered up, ready to be put under the light. Alright, now I'm sewing the Walla Wallas. I feel like that's a good variety just because it's fun to say. And you can see the seed looks exactly the same. Alright, same as the first, just kind of cover over the little furrows and then get everything tamped down. I'm going to put my little stick in here so I know what they are. And then I'm going to cover them in cling film, which I'm sure I'm going to be fighting with this stuff for like an hour. Alright, there's one sheet down. Two sheets. Okay, so again, I'm going to pre-moisten my soil. Mix it up. Break up the big clumps that are in there. Alright, now I'm going to make my little furrows. Okay. Okay, so now the Granix hybrid seeds. Wow, there was a lot in that pack. They look pretty much the same as the other ones too. We're going to evenly distribute them throughout the soil. Alright, then just cover them over. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as they're under the dirt. I'm just pushing it down just to make sure it has contact with the soil. A little clump right there I need to break up. Alright, and the same drill again with the plastic wrap. Just cover it up. almost forgot to label it. Okay, now it's labeled. And now it's gonna go under the lights. Alright guys, so now I'm going to plant the Columbine seeds, which the drill is a little bit different for these. So over here, I just have any plastic container will do. I just put some dry potting mix in here, and now I'm going to dump some water in and pre-moisten it and mix it around. Alright, and once it's mixed up, I'm just going to drop it into the cells. This is just one of those little seed starting things. It comes with 2 of these, I think, and a black tray and a dome, a plastic dome to go on top. You can get them at Walmart or Lowe's or, well, anywhere for that matter. But anyway, the only place I usually shop is Walmart, but that's because it's right beside my house. I take the big sticks out because I just don't have any use for that. I want to leave a little bit of room on the top of the cells, and I'm just going to cover the seeds after I get them in there. Columbine seeds are supposed to be planted 1/4 of an inch deep, so you just want to leave like 1/4 of an inch at the top of your cell. Some more big chunks. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm not going to fill the whole thing up because I just don't need it right now. Alright, let me get my hands cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the Columbine seeds, about half of them. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try to winter sow half of them, so I'll show you that in a little bit. So I'm going to take 1 seed, maybe. Okay, I'm going to try to get 1 seed in each cell. It might be 2, but I can go back later and deal with that. Alright, so like I said earlier, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more potting soil and top these off. Tap them down. Alright. Sorry guys. Alright, I'm going to put a little piece of plastic wrap over these 2 just to keep the soil moist. And these are going to go under the lights. Okay guys, now for the winter sowing of the Columbine seeds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a milk jug, and I have cut a line around the center of it, leaving a couple inches intact at the handle, so that way it just hinges. And I'm going to open it up here and fill it with some potting soil, some potting mix, rather. Alright, now once you get that done, we're just going to take the remaining seeds, the Columbine seeds, and just try to distribute them evenly throughout the mix. And make sure all of them are out of there. I can tell you right now, I am not a fan of these plastic seed packs. I'd much rather have the paper ones. But anyway, alright, so we're going to take about 1/4 inch of soil and put it on top of there. Pack them down. Okay, and now I'm going to close this up and probably put a little bit of tape on it to keep it closed, and I'm just going to set it on my porch in the shade. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in my basement. I just want to tell you a little bit about the setup that I have down here, so that way, if you want to start your own seeds, you can try to do it this way or find whatever works best for you. But this is what I use down here. As you can see, I have just cheap plastic shelving units. Honestly, I just got them at Walmart. I think they were like 20 some dollars a piece. And we just hooked fluorescent lighting, like fluorescent shop lights to them. And the shop lights are T8s, I believe. The lights have bulbs in them that are 6500K, which I guess is the best for starting seedlings from what I've read. And I've been using them for I think 2 or 3 years, and they've worked well for me so far. I'm hoping in the near future to switch to LEDs just because they're becoming more affordable now, and they're just so much more efficient with energy. So in the near future I'll be switching over to that, and I'll show you whenever I do that. But for now, it's just what I've been using, and I'll give you a close-up just to show you how I do it. Here's my setup. The shelving unit, and on the sides you can see that we just drilled holes and hung the shop lights in them. And here are the onion seeds that we sowed earlier, and you can see that I have the shop light within like 2 inches of the tray. And as the seedlings grow, I'll move it up a little bit. But with fluorescent lighting, you can get pretty close without burning the plants. So I usually keep it within like 2 inches, 2 to 4 inches. And that has worked out pretty well for me. So that does it for my very first YouTube episode, and I just want to thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time here on the Wilson Homestead. Bye guys.